Et salut YouTube et bienvenue dans ce qui sera sûrement et normalement la dernière enquête de Crimes and Punishments. On arrive au bout de cette histoire, au bout de ce let's play qui j'espère vous aura plu. Donc du coup on va commencer cette nouvelle enquête, secret au clair de lune. Donc je sais pas encore combien d'épisodes ça fera, au moins 2 sur peut-être 3.
To the Baker Street Irregulars annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Ok. Alors, votre éthique compréhensif. Ah, mais non, ouais, compréhensif, ouais. Ah, je suis pour être dans la compréhension à partir du moment où c'est legit. Pour revenir sur la précédente affaire, je suis désolé, mais voilà, autant.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mock cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
Ah tiens, attends le télescope que je rigole. Mais elle nous mind. Elle cherche à nous minder.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs...
Voilà, pour en revenir là. J'ai absous, voilà, il y a des personnes que j'ai absous parce que vous trouvez légitime pour ma part de les absoudre. Parce que oui, il y avait eu meurtre, mais il y avait des circonstances, des faits qui faisaient que ma conscience ne pouvait pas les mettre en prison, les faire aller en prison. Là, pour le coup, ce qui s'est passé, donc on va lire là. Sensationnel, un meurtre d'un genre nouveau, un arsenal de criminels modernes se dote de plantes empoisonnées. À Kew Gardens, une ravissante jeune femme, le mèche avec un collègue, a orchestré le dur assassinat de Mr. Montagu Dunn, leur directeur. Un seul détective a été capable de découvrir cette infâme machination derrière une apparente crise cardiaque. Ce détective a pour nom Sherlock Holmes. Alors, normalement j'aurais dû la sauver pour qu'elle puisse aller en prison. Maintenant, est-ce que... Alors, ça peut peut-être pas paraître dégueulasse, mais est-ce que est-ce que ça m'embête finalement d'avoir raté le QTE et qu'elle soit morte? Je vais être honnête, elle est morte, donc c'est une vie en moins. Maintenant, elle a fomenté le décès de mon Wiggins. Donc, c'est... Je suis désolé, mais voilà, à la limite, est-ce que c'est un mal que finalement lui se soit pendu et qu'elle soit morte? Les deux étaient complices, donc est-ce que c'est un mal? C'est compliqué de dire que ça reste des êtres vivants, ça reste des vies humaines en moins. Maintenant, voilà, j'ai fait ce choix parce que voilà, c'était pour moi ce qui me paraissait le plus éthique. Voilà. Ouais, tac tac tac. Est-ce que je peux parler avec lui? Ok, d'accord. Donc si je fais ça, ok, ok. Ouais, donc. Remarque, je me rappelle peut-être. Ah oui, Whitechapel. Ouais, je crois me rappeler de cette enquête.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Non, non, c'est mon frère.
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
D'autant plus si tu as participé à notre enquête.
Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stabbed fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
Et tu veux me dire que de là où elle pouvait voir. T'as raison.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
Donc t'es con.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Attends, parce que j'ai vu un truc quand je suis arrivé.
A fairly long pole with a forked end. fairly long.
Ok, d'accord.
I'm always wondering.
Ouais, ok, c'est bon, ta gueule.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. The Cotty must have done some time there. He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. Brian the Cotty suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die. A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new. The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Non, pour le moment, on peut pas l'utiliser. Sherlock.
It would be my pleasure to assist.
Ouais, c'est bien, c'est bien, c'est bien.
Mr. Holmes.
Tais-toi, tais-toi.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective, gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Médaille, un garde crimée, vétéran de guerre. Bouton manquant, vie humble. E1, pas de folle. Claudication.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started.
Donc ouais, je suis Claudie que comment t'as pu même en se levant rapidement arriver à la fenêtre?
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw two bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the two shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Ouais. Fenêtre sombre. Témoignage contradictoire. Turner a affiché être resté à la fenêtre de son importance jusqu'à l'arrivée de la police. Pourtant, Marrow a précisé n'avoir vu personne à la fenêtre. Donc déjà, il y a ouais, contradictoire, des coups de feu différents de victimes. Ouais, non, pour l'instant, on n'a pas plus d'infos, mais voilà, on a un témoignage contradictoire. Est-ce qu'on peut lui reparler?
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted.
C'est marrant comment d'un seul coup tu changes ton témoignage.
We missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Es-tu Claudique?
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly. The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible. This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Encore une salade, une sale histoire.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here, a short while ago.
Tiens donc.
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Les plus intéressants.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots. There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife is quite sharp. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
T'es pas net, mon bonhomme.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them. it didn't happen this way. No, it didn't happen this way.
Il manque des infos.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Il manque des infos. Il est attaché d'expliquer la correction dans le témoignage en tenue parlant et en examinant la vue de sa fenêtre. Oui, mais c'est ce que j'ai vu.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Parce que je comprends pas. Le problème c'est quoi? C'est que ouais, il manque des infos. Et les infos, je vais aller au yard. Je vais aller au yard pour aller interroger Chapman. Parce qu'il y a quelque chose qui me... J'ai pas toutes les infos. Donc je vois pas comment je pourrais déterminer...
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Ah, il est bien obligé de le laisser faire.
Isn't he guilty of murder?
On va pas... Non, je suppose que là, oui, oui, évidemment. Donc faut que j'aille à la pièce décellée.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco, nothing interesting. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Évidemment. fait victime d'un double assassinat perpétré par une seule personne. Si Turner a entendu une différence entre les deux coups de feu, c'est qu'en réalité 3 coups ont été tirés, un premier isolé, puis 2 similaires. Mais du coup on n'est plus sur un double assassinat. Je sais pas. Mais du coup oui voilà, on est plus sur un double assassinat, mais
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here
je te vais dire, calme-toi mec.
to find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Bah t'as intérêt pour toi. Scarf. Moule. Gratte-papier.
Good. Tell me your account on what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds, but I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Eh bien.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Vieille connaissance, témoignage non, de victime non, non. Aucun butin. John Chapman connaissait sa victime et a pu tuer pour un motif personnel. Ouais. Non, les victimes non. Ouais, bon. Ouais. Ouais, examiner la scène du crime. Tâchez d'expliquer un. Il y a peut-être eu un échange de tirs entre Kenneth Butler et Brian Vercotti Savon. Il faut examiner les corps et reconstituer la scène. Bah du coup on va retourner à Half Moon hein, puisqu'on n'a pas le choix. Mais déjà on a certaines informations donc peut-être qu'on peut reconstituer au niveau de la fenêtre des choses. Donc
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
on va se calmer mec.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Ok.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Ah ouais, d'accord. D'accord, alors 1. Non. Non, réinitialiser. S'élever. A ouvert la fenêtre. Il y a un truc où il prend sa canne.
No, it didn't happen this way.
Bon, alors 1 s'est levé. A ouvert la fenêtre. S'est approché du corps. Alors après quelque chose, a jeté quelque chose dans... Ah non. A coupé et a jeté quelque chose au feu.
So
Ben voilà.
Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find? I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Donc on a des infos pour le... Donc on a des infos pour pouvoir lui dire hey pépère, ce que tu me dis ça marche, ça fonctionne pas, donc
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly despite my age, and when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
pas de chance. La claudication.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something, but it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Le bracelet peut perdre.
Mr. Turner, you are not sincere with me. Not
Ah ouais,
then,
ça fait deuxième.
not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window, as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Bon.
That's why it's better to stay at home at night.
Alors, consulter les archives, ouais. Eh ben, on va retourner à Baker Street alors. On va consulter les archives. Je trouve toujours autant passionnant. Et pourtant, ce jeu, je l'ai déjà fini, mais ouais, c'est toujours autant passionnant de refaire les enquêtes. Ah, alors non, c'est pas en chimie, non, non, ici, arts martiaux, marques et symboles. Non. Non. C'est pas dans recherche. Alors, donc non. Alors. Voilà. Ce magnifique bijou antique ne sont qu'une partie de la collection de trésors hellénistiques. En illustration, un bracelet, un collier et une bague, tous trois en or massif, représentant 5 têtes de mouflons. Les 5 mouflons de Mytilène ont disparu du musée depuis 1885. Eh oui, 1885. Vol de trésors hellénistiques. Scandaleux larcin. Un vol de trésors hellénistiques a eu lieu hier soir alors qu'ils étaient acheminés en cab depuis le British Museum à destination de l'exposition de beaux-arts de Glasford. Kenneth Butler, prêteur sur gage à Church Street, a contacté Scotland Yard cette nuit pour signaler Kenneth Butler, tiens. Un individu avait tenté de lui vendre une collection d'art historique. La police a depuis appréhendé l'homme, un voleur professionnel du nom de Vincent Foley, qui perchait à quitter Londres par voie maritime. Il a été formellement reconnu par le cocher du cab transportant la dite collection. Vincent Foley a refusé d'avouer l'emplacement du reste des trésors et a été incarcéré, mais on ignore encore où se trouve son butin.
One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his
Ah oui, une visite à la boutique s'impose. Eh ben, on va aller faire un petit tour à sa boutique, à ce petit Kenneth. De toute façon, il m'emmerdera pas, il est mort. Alors, par contre, antiquité disparue, témoignage de Leighton. Non, revolver 1, 2 victimes. Ok, donc du coup, bah, des victimes. Ok, la revolver. 1, 1, 1. Ok, bon bah de toute façon j'ai une nouvelle info mais qui me sert à rien pour le moment. Alors. Évidemment, je sens qu'il va falloir... Ah oui, non, eh oui, j'avais récupéré la clé. J'avais peur de devoir encore en mini-jeu, mais non, j'ai récupéré la clé sur lui, c'est vrai. C'est évident, mais...
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer. A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor. A flare pistol.
Pour le moment...
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations. The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 Rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
De Brian Vercotti. Tiens, notre deuxième victime. Salut Kenneth, je me rappelle que tu m'as parlé de 3 antiquités grecques, des bijoux en or avec des têtes de mouflons. Tu les as toujours? Sur-toi que j'ai trouvé un daim huppé qui raffole de ses breloques. Il est prêt à raquer une petite fortune. Je peux te faire rencontrer cette tirelire sur pattes contre une part du gâteau. Je t'attendrai dimanche soir au carrefour de Great Alley et de Half Moon Street avant le feu d'artifice. Brian Vercotti. Ah ah. Donc les deux se connaissaient. Alors, motif, le butin. Le crime de Half Moon Street est peut-être lié à la recherche des trésors hellénistiques disparus. Mr. Turner a ramassé le bracelet juste après le meurtre, mais il manque encore la bague. Leighton Turner connaissait sa victime et a pu tuer... Non, bah, pour moi c'est le butin. Pour le moment, j'ai du mal à croire que Chapman soit... pour moi, il était juste là au mauvais moment, au mauvais endroit. Pour l'instant. Mais...
A flare pit.
Examiner la scène du crime et parler aux témoins de Half Moon Street. Il y a peut-être eu un échange de tirs entre... Il faut examiner les corps et reconstituer la scène. J'ai peut-être retourné à Half Moon Street et voir, étudier un peu plus en détail les corps. Et il y a cette perche pour le moment qu'on ne peut pas utiliser et on ne sait pas encore. Mais elle a forcément son utilité, ça c'est sûr. Ça c'est sûr.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars.
Je crois que le mec il a demandé à être mendiant.
Thief?
Oh no. Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Alors par contre, pourquoi est-ce que... L'une des deux victimes peut être tirée 2 fois. Découvrez laquelle. C'est lui qui s'est retrouvé avec une balle dans la tête. Logiquement, si le mec s'est retrouvé avec une balle dans la tête... Ah, à moins que ce soit lui le tireur. Il a tiré. Il le tire dans le bide, lui, il a la possibilité de riposter, de lui mettre une balle dans la tête. Ah, c'est que c'est lui qui s'est retrouvé avec une balle dans le bide. Non? Ah non, c'est lui qui s'est retrouvé avec une balle dans la tête. Attends. Lui, il a une balle dans la tête. Et lui, il a une balle dans le bide. Donc...
Unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp. This should be useful. This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Alors un troisième coup de feu. 2 victimes. Une victime d'un double assassinat perpétré par un seul homme et sont morts en se retrouvant chacun muni d'une arme. L'une des deux a disparu. Alors là, si je fais échange de tirs, ouais. Et si je fais double assassinat, ah ouais. Et du coup, l'homme invisible. Le témoignage de Layton, selon lequel un homme en veste était présent sur les lieux, devient crédible. Les 3 coups de feu prouvent qu'un deuxième revolver a été utilisé. Or, il n'a pas été retrouvé.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood. I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide. All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Recoin visible? Non. Témoignage de Layton. Si l'on postule qu'il y avait une autre personne sur Half Moon Street au moment du crime, elle ne pouvait ni reculer ni avancer. Sa seule issue était de grimper. Reconstituons l'action en simulant l'éclat du feu d'artifice décrit par Layton et tentant d'escalader le mur. Ouais, donc je sais où trouver les informations. Mais nous le ferons dans un prochain épisode. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner, d'activer la cloche pour les notifications. N'oubliez pas le pouce bleu, ça aide grandement la chaîne. N'oubliez pas les commentaires, ça fait toujours plaisir à lire. Et on se dit à la prochaine pour de nouvelles aventures. Et amusez-vous bien, à la prochaine, bye.